whose noble mission is to promote peace, love, health, and joy through the teachings of Advaita Vedanta and yoga, guided by the highest African values. Despite being born into a Christian family, his spiritual quest begins at a tender age, leading him first to Buddhism and then to discover Hinduism before turning 14. Undeterred by the challenges of this unusual path, he persisted in his thirst for truth. In 2009, Swamiji joined the Hindu Ministry of Africa, training under Swami Shankarananda, first African Hindu monk, eventually receiving brahmachari initiation. Seeking to deepen his understanding, he completed a 2-year intensive Vedanta course in Chinmaya Missions, Sandipani, Sandhalaya in Mumbai, studying under Swami Tejamayanandaji. On Mahashivratri, 18 February 2023, Swami Shankarananda received Diksha, exemplifying his unwavering dedication to spiritual upliftment. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Swami Shankarananda Giri.
Actually, I didn't know this much information. Before I start, I would like to say a prayer. 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 Shankara, 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 Asmaracharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. Actually, when I got this topic, I found that my topic is more of direct and personal. So, as we find the world, this world that we are living now, gradually becoming complex with countries, groups, individuals also depending on each other. At the same time, there seems to be this power struggle among countries, organizations, groups, and individuals. The need for peace is very important at this age. Now, peace through interpersonal relationships makes us understand that as individuals, groups, and societies and nations, the responsibility for maintaining peace and committing to this part is very important. Now I found that peace is a state, as the general definition, of harmony in the absence of hostility and violence, or lack of conflict and freedom of fear or violence between individuals or groups. But peace, as we know it, is not something to achieve or a state to reach, but it is our true nature. As human beings, this is our natural state. But rather it is by our actions and inactions that we enter into a state of despair and sorrows. Because we become unfulfilled, leading to endless problems. Peace is already our nature and in our hearts, but needs nourishing and enriching for our interpersonal relationships. Now the question comes as, how do we enrich peace through interpersonal relationships? By first, is respect and acceptance. Many we hear the words, we should have tolerance. But tolerance is not respect and not acceptance. Tolerance is because of some law, because of something that will happen, because of something another person will say, I should allow this to happen, or the person to be. That is not respect and acceptance, and it does not bring peace. Because in the absence of that law or the situation, I can deal with the person the way I want. Respect and acceptance, accepting all regardless of their color, religion, creed, beliefs, origin, is very important for peace. But at the same time, does not mean that we should allow people or a person to do or say whatever he wants. But however, it means we should show that we value the person's feelings, opinions, time, and interests, whilst we also express our own. Now, how do we ensure peace through respect and acceptance? By first, we need to understand and respect the things that bring joy to a person. This means that as we know the things that bring joy to us, we should also replicate it to the person by understanding what brings joy to the person. The second point is to keep the commitment made to them and show up on time. If we have made a commitment, as we stand here for peace, then we have to keep that commitment wherever we go. And then showing up on time also brings us that the person trusts us. Because we said this, at least we tried, we delivered on the time. At the same time, we need to be mindful of a person's feelings so that we do not overstep or say anything that may affect the person. The next is active listening from respect and acceptance. We should not just listen to the person, but we need to be alive while the person is speaking. It involves being engaged with what the other person is saying. Being quiet and letting the person say is not active listening, but rather we need to rethink, paraphrasing the words, and try to understand the person from his or her point of view. And also we ask questions whenever we may have them. Listening shows that we care and that we involve the other person's life, we value the other person's life and interest in what they have to say. Now, how should we promote peace through listening? First of all, we are having a conversation with the person. Interrupting now and then does not help. Then avoid judgmental statements, because we are trying to understand the person from his point of view. So we need to avoid judgmental statements, and we maintain good eye contact. Ask open-ended questions to invite elaboration and inquiry. This is while the person is speaking. If there's any question, you make it open so that the person feels free to express himself. Instead of making a statement which may directly means you are judging the person or preventing the person to stop. Questions that come should be open. we paraphrase or we try to understand what the other person has said for our better understanding. One thing we can do also is that suppose the person says something and we don't get it. We ask again for the person to come again or to rephrase his words so that we get the person from his point of view. To ensure peace, empathy is very important. Now this means putting ourselves in the person's shoes to understand him or her. Now, every person that we face, wherever we are, a person is in a situation, whether good or bad or indifferent. Now, trying to be in the person's state will help us to appreciate, respect, and accept the person more. Looking at things from their perspective and feeling their joys and pains, as if it is our own. At the same time, when we feel what someone else is feeling, it helps the other person gain a sense of belonging. This person, while we are having our direct interrelationships with the person, makes him a simple joy, and then feels that this person is at my level and I can relate with the person as much as I want. It helps others also feel understood, and that understanding serves as a foundation for trust and closeness in the relationship. Empathy also brings forth kindness, cooperation, and improves mental health. Because if we are not able to view a person from the person's point of view and not understand the person, there will always be this conflict from ourselves and from who we are relating with also. And ultimately, there will not be any cooperation. Now, how do we ensure peace through empathy? First, we need to earn and to be worthy of trust. So, in every situation, we must present ourselves in such a way that the person we are going to relate with will trust us. Not to deceive the person, but genuinely to trust us so that the person will also open himself for us. Make an effort to show you care. Share things about yourselves, because the situation the person is going through may be similar or may be related, or the person can learn something from it. So if you share your own experience also, the person comes to understand that at least this situation has not happened, this is not the first time or has not happened to me alone, but other people have also faced it, and how they came out of it, at least I can also follow their steps. Then accept feedback from other people whilst being honest. So whilst we are dealing with people, their feedback is very important. It makes us know whether they understand us, whether they accept, whether they trust us. So as they give their feedback, we should accept what they are saying as it is from their perspective. And also we need to be honest with what we do. To ensure peace, we need to open ourselves. In order to ensure peace through interpersonal relationships, we need to have mutual give and take when it comes to sharing information with one another. A person can only relate with us peacefully, or we can live in a peaceful society only when we are willing to let others in our life and share our opinions with them. Lastly, we need to keep a healthy boundary. A healthy boundary. Healthy boundaries are also vital for peace because this establishes our boundaries, but to enforce them as well. It's also involved how much we are willing to share about ourselves emotionally, physically, and even digitally. Respecting these boundaries shows that we care about each other or the other person's values, goals, emotions, and aspirations. In conclusion, I would say ensuring peace through interpersonal relations play a critical role in both our physical and emotional well-being. We should think about the qualities that we value the most in our relationships, such as trust, respect, friendship, kindness, and honesty. But generally, these are what we want to get. And then work on it by showing the same to others. Thank you, Master.